There was once a horseshoe that hung above the entrance in a home. One night, a guest expressed surprise. "Professor, do you believe that's a lucky horseshoe?" He replied, "Of course not. I'm a scientist after all." Then he paused. "But I've heard horseshoes bring good fortune even to those who don't believe in their power." The professor was atomic physicist Niels Bohr. He was the epitome of rationale, known for his work along Oppenheimer and winner of the Nobel Prize. Today, we would call that horseshoe an example of something that is woo, based on irrational suspicion, and therefore deserving to be dismissed and disregarded. When we call something woo, it's not a compliment. But the fact is that many successful people have practices and beliefs that are woo that they consider essential. Some examples are Serena Williams wearing the same pair of socks throughout a tournament. Beyonce's concert ritual involves praying with her team and 1 hour of alone time where she listens to a pre-performance playlist. President Ronald Reagan consulted the astrologer Joan Quigley before making major and minor decisions, including determining his schedule. And of course, who could forget the countless entrepreneurs who proudly state how they followed their gut, their own intuition. The list of the quirky, irrational behaviors from some of the most successful people in their fields is a long one. It begs the question, what if these woo practices were tapping into something profound and powerful? We typically dismiss our practices and rituals and label them as woo, when in fact, they could be the key to unlocking our success. We need to stop ridiculing belief-based practices and start embracing them as powerful tools for success. Some of mine you've actually witnessed. I sway and fidget, moving with the energy. The neurological reason is called stimming. It regulates my ADHD and helps me to stay focused. It makes me a better speaker. And it's helped me to build a successful international intuitive business. It's both woo and science-based. When we understand the science behind the power of woo, we can unlock the power of belief to reach our full potential. Science has shown that rituals and belief-based practices can have a profound impact. One of the most fascinating studies came out of Stanford University, an Ivy League school, and showed that students who wrote down their goals and intentions at the beginning of the semester and reviewed them daily achieved significantly better academic results than those who didn't. It's a practice that sounds remarkably similar to manifesting. Another thing that too many are too quickly to dismiss is woo. But that didn't stop it from having a measurable impact from everyone who participated. It is time to acknowledge these practices and unlock our full potential. Rituals, even when we know they are not directly connected to an outcome, still can have a profound impact on our performance. There was another set of studies that showed people who were asked to say, "Don't stop believing," in front of an audience of strangers who did a ritual beforehand, performed better and were more relaxed. This was true whether they believed the ritual would help or not. It is time to start embracing these practices. Spirituality calls it manifesting. Christians call it prayer. Atheists call it the placebo effect. And scientists call it quantum physics. No one is denying it exists, just what to call it. To start embracing these practices, instead of feeling embarrassed about your pre-presentation routine or your lucky charm, start utilizing them as powerful tools for success. Next, we need to understand the psychological and neurological basis for why these practices work. We all need to do this. If you or someone close to you has a practice or ritual that improves their potential, well-being, or performance, don't hesitate to embrace it. And lastly, we need to cut ourselves some slack and give ourselves permission to translate woo into rational terms, or into whatever way of talking makes sense to each of us. If certain terms make you uncomfortable, no shame. Try reframing them. Manifesting can easily be seen as a form of goal setting and visualization, both of which have been scientifically proven to improve outcomes. Embracing the science of belief can help you unlock your full potential. A good example of the power of woo and the science of belief comes from my own experience. I had a feeling, just a fleeting thought, that my mom needed me. As an intuitive advisor to CEOs and celebrities, using all of the woo at my disposal shamelessly for the past 20 years, I took this seriously. I followed my intuition. I canceled a full day of plans and meetings with clients. I got my car and began the hour drive to her house. She called when I was halfway there. A family member had an emergency and she had to get to the airport immediately. I was able to tell her I was already on my way. She cried with relief. I picked her up, she made her flight, and the family member was okay. All because of trusting the power of woo. Whether it's a pregame ritual, a manifestation practice, or even just a lucky pen, embrace these as the powerful tools for success that they are. Start recognizing the practices that make you feel more confident and centered. Experiment with intentional rituals before events and meetings. And most importantly, be proud of these practices instead of embarrassed by them. Remember, it is not about the specific action. It's about harnessing the power of belief. Because at the end of the day, that belief might just be the most scientifically sound tool you have for success.